Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Guys, how are you doing? How are you doing in this energy? Guys, is it today, Monday, February 12th, that Mars is shifting into Aquarius? I'm gonna just tell you, is very much so far into February, I really feel it's like this. It's like this. I mean, yes, okay, I get it. It's leap year. Yes. It is, time travelers, portals, just porters. Anyway, time travelers, portals. So they say it is leap year. Is a very, very interesting, is a very, very interesting energy throwback to 2020. How do you feel as we get closer to, what do we have? 6 days, 6 days left in Aquarius season. Mars moving into Aquarius is just this energy. It's like, it's like, and I was thinking about how we had all the Capricorn energy in Capricorn season. Where was it a stellium? But I was thinking about, in my mind, I saw it as this image of like a bomb exploding, right? And then it felt like if you were, I'm seeing the devil card heavily. If you were change. Remember I posted that video, you guys, and it was like burn the contracts. And the devil card we talked about in Capricorn season, it has a lot to do with contracts, and it has a lot with now I'm thinking the devil card, and I'm thinking Capricorn, which makes me think of Saturnian rings, and it's these looping is time loops. Woo, guy. It's almost like I have to ask for a little bit of a slowdown recently with the frequency of the way that messages and imagery, and I get it. This is such my ears are like madly ringing now. This is just how the Aquarius energy works, and we have Pluto in Aquarius now, so it's like such a huge transformative energy, and anything that was kind of a blockade. Why was I going to say blockade? A blockage on the path to really elevating to the higher tier of will. Spirit is saying the higher tiers of wisdom, the higher tiers of heart. It's going to be. It's like you got on the spaceship. Remember we were talking about Pluto is taking you back. All this Aquarius energy was like pulling back a little corner of the veil of the cosmos, and you were just about to, it was like, beam me up. Remember, it's this, you're getting skyrocketed off up into this is like, why am I hearing thank my lucky stars? Like, now I'm hearing, when you wish upon a star. My voice is still struggling, you guys. Makes no difference where you are. I'm not going to keep singing because it's just terrible. Right? Please listen. Hey, I love you so much. I appreciate your energy here if you're here. I'm recovering from this respiratory virus, and no, I'm not. My throat is totally fine. It's just my breathing in my chest, right? And it was, I was joking when I was doing the one-on-one work for the Pluto and Aquarius reads, and I was saying I was like, I'm gonna do ASMR tarot reads and astrology reads, but that was the point that we were at. It's better. It's better each day. I'm very much better. So I'm really thankful for that. But what it was giving was like, listen, what is that? That real video, whatever you want to call it, right? Where it's the lady, is it Columbia Pictures, you guys, the opener? And it's like when someone tries to steal your light and she's holding her torch and she's like, psh, 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 to the people who are coming for her, right? Are they zombies or something? So it's giving very much like Aquarian energy, hyped by Pluto. Remember, we talked about we're going to play pinball and it's going bing, 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 bing. Pluto, imagine the head and the tail of the dragon. This dragon energy is going up through you, with you. Spirit is saying through, you could say your personal evolution. You could say your ascension, if you like. Sometimes you say love and light, it's whatever, y'all. You say ascension. Sometimes people, maybe we should just use that more often if you don't like it. Bing, bing, it's a sign. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, it's okay. Thank my lucky stars. And it's like, somebody's saying this like they dodged a bullet. And it's very much like this Pluto shifting once again into Aquarius. Again, as a reminder, we will wrap back round in a retrograde later towards the fall to come back into the Capricorn energy. It's very, but and then it'll be like, we're officially Pluto and Aquarius, bum, bum, but it's very much like, thank my lucky stars. And now we had, last week, the beginning of the week, we had Mercury, come into Aquarius and do the conjunction with Pluto and Aquarius. Now we've had our new moon in Aquarius, which made the 4 planet bodies in Aquarius, right? Of course, mind you, we're in the age of Aquarius. And so it's very much giving, what is Spirit trying to say? The Hanged Man will not save us anymore from the contracts of the Devil card. Ooh. But the energy that liberates us, that helps us evolve through our own innate understanding of our healing and our power, right? This is very much the Star card. And I was explaining to someone, but that the 7 plus 1, the 17th major arcana card gives us that 8 energy as well. It's a very important energetic frequency this year, along with that overarching theme of the Leo energy from the Strength card. And so I was seeing the lady with the torch, right? And it's like the Aquarius energy is rolling. I'm hearing like rolling with the big dogs, right? Like, first of all, Pluto and Aquarius are going to be like gang together. And it's almost like, again, you can do this evolution with us like a dance. You know what I'm saying? You can call on that. Maybe it's your galactic family. Maybe you see this as the light codes that you've integrated from all of the Schumann resonance, the sun flares, the ley lines, the activations that come into your cellular body through your other bodies, right? Light bodies, auric bodies, psychic bodies, emotional bodies. We can go down the list, right? Okay, so we have these activations within us. And it is like this empowerment of, I just keep seeing this. It's like, thank my lucky stars. This new moon, and then we had the Mercury, then we had the Pluto, and then now we're having Mars shift into us. Like Mars is blowing up a bomb. Mars is like, what is that thing? It's like a flamethrower, like, but somebody lights a match and it's like, it's like the chick who holds the torch and is swiping the zombies off her light, her energy, her heart space, her personal evolution, so that she can integrate. It's like this divine inheritance energy that somehow makes you lighter. She's gassed up by Mars and Aquarius. Listen, she is gassed up. And somehow it's like burn off. It's like burning off. It's like, imagine, hear me out, because when my guides show me things, it's very visual. It's not so much auditory, can be sometimes, and through the cards, but it's very visual, right? I always want to try to paint these images for you because this is how I'm oftentimes being shown things, which also happens when I'm looking at your natal chart. But anyway, it's like, you've got a last tether of a chain and you're in the Devil card, right? And you're just like, I just want to break the contract. I want to go up. I want to catch the ship, quote unquote. I don't want to be left behind. Ooh. We're going to leave that nugget there. You guys can sit with it. I love you. Okay. Spirit saying, digest that. listen, and then, here comes this amped up Aquarius energy, right? Imagine the star card. And it's very much like Mars jumps in the lineup and is like, lights a match to her torch, right? The lady in the Columbia picture or whatever. And all of a sudden it's like, and you're all these remainders or these tethering pieces. It's like you'll move forward in uncorded timelines. Your vibration will no longer have corded entanglements. Maybe you could say enmeshments. You could say, ooh, we could go down a list there. We sure could. But I think you get the vibe. So it's very like Mars is coming in the house this week. I'm going to just tell you, following this new moon. And on the one side, it's very much like, what was I looking at? Sidereal or something that had to do with Capricorns, a different view of time and astrology and stuff. And then tropical Aquarius. But anyway, it was this energy of we are swimming. But, Aquarius, the sign of the hidden water bearer. Saturn is in Pisces. Neptune is in Pisces. And it's very much, we just keep swimming. We're swimming, right? And we're going up. And we can't be tethered. And so Mars is giving us this energy to kind of dodge the bullet, to move. It's like past, again, it's contracts. It's contracts. But it's also this energy of like a new initiation, a new, oh, listen, I'm not being religious. You guys know, yes, I was raised in the Bible Belt. I am in the Southeast. Is not, there's nuggets of wisdom everywhere. It depends on how you absorb it into your heart space and use your discernment. So I'm not being religious, but I'm thinking of like Pisces energy. I'm thinking of like Saturn and Pisces, Neptune and Pisces. I'm thinking of us getting ready to shift into Pisces. And it's kind of like a new, I want to say baptism, a new initiation. And so it's like if you can allow, you can definitely summon and call on this energy of Mars to kind of be this, is kind of like just blow it up. Just blow it up. And it gives me this visualization. And it takes me back to collective readings I was doing at the beginning of last year. And I was talking about Saturn moving into Pisces, whenever that was. I think it was the beginning of last year. Excuse me. And man, I've had this message just in my heart space and my third eye. But I had so many packages to get together. I'm super excited to send out all of what I'm calling my love bombs. Is such good energy, and all the tools and the oils and the candles and the things. So I'm excited those are going out. But yeah, is like it can be very I don't want to say it has to be confrontational. It depends on if you fight the burn off, right? Is almost like when a rocket takes flight is how I'm seeing as well. This big gas burn off happens, right? And it gets to a certain point in the sky. It can't continue going up and out of the atmosphere until it drops off what was going on, and the boom, it drops off, and then it can go higher, right? Y'all, I don't work for NASA, so, feel free if somebody going to correct me, but, you get what I'm saying? It's very much like, and again, I'm hearing this whole thing, thank my lucky stars, but the stars is like, remember Aquarius, we're pulling back the veil because we are swimming up through timelines. It's like the Fool, Indiana Jones style. It's like, all right, cool. I'm going to continue with my jump. What is that Disney song, y'all? Why am I hearing? Into the unknown, right? Spirit got me singing. Look, my throat is not set up. Into the I'm not going to sing the whole known because it's like this whole high note. The lyrics of that song are actually really great, but it feels very much like this. So it is like zooming off to go out of the atmosphere to meet up with your stars. We have, of course, our heavenly guidance of the divine masculine father and the son. But then we have the Sirius star. We have, the seven sisters, the Pleiades. Ooh. Now it makes me think of how all the stars are on the star card. It's like above her head. What star am I thinking about now? I think there's a conjunction. Ooh, it happens on my birthday, I think. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have the chart in front of me. Is the star called... Is it Cygnus? Cygnus? Anyway, it's the wish upon a star. It's one of what you would call a lucky star. Anyway, the point being is that galactic family, star codes, light codes, these things are coming down in through the soul star. We have the soul star. We have the crown chakra, which opens like the 1,000-petaled lotus. This is very much a time to let those contracts be burned. And I think the way we may be feeling this as we're doing our vision work that we've been talking about doing, we're preparing for the cliff jump, right? I love to say that spring equinox is when we lace up the sneakers. It's go time. It's run time. You want to have your plans ready to go. You do not want to be tethered to the contracts. You want to be ready to kind of like be set up in the slingshot in the rocket ship, right? I'm thinking of what I'm seeing, you guys. I'm sorry. So I feel like, of course, there's always going to be energies that are going to spin the block. They're going to come back round. It's going to be like a moth to a flame, whether that is a past relationship, a past, I like to say emotional contract, because those can happen with not just romantic partners. That can be a soulmate through a best friend, or a karmic lesson, a cyclical lesson through a family member, or past life ties through someone you worked with for a long time. I don't like people just so quickly, bless you. And I get it, because those romantic relationships, the intimate spaces are so close to our heart. So we go there very quickly, and I understand that. But we can kind of grow in understanding that those are not the only scenarios that we're referring to, but it's really important that old contracts, that this Mars energy coming into Aquarius, I think will completely obliterate. If you call on the power of that fire, you may invoke an archetype of a dragon. This is the year of, it is the wood dragon, but dragons nonetheless powerful, galactic, celestial, spiritual beings. Maybe you call on that and imagine fire there, or however you may choose to do this. There are plenty of God, goddess archetypes, the earth, volcano, any way you want to work about it. I'm saying Mars and Aquarius, and I think there's going to be a conjunction with Pluto and Aquarius too. You see that? Mercury and Aquarius, conjunction with Pluto and Aquarius. Mars and Aquarius, conjunction. So this is an important time, right? Because I think this is the dragon moving up the spine, or through the chakras, you might say. Remember, we're playing pinball. And so, or you could say down, and then maybe we will go down and back up if we're starting in Mercury, and that's a mental body. But I would encourage you to just embrace the work of what is falling away. Spirit is saying, while you jump. And let me go back to that imagery I was talking about last year. I was talking about painting a picture of the fool, in that he was getting ready to jump. But at the time, I'd had this dream, I think, or something I was explaining. It looked like the fool was stuck, like, like a cartoon running in midair, or in your dream, when you jump. And it's like you're in glue. You know what I'm talking about? He jumped, but he wasn't quite ready. Or maybe Indiana Jones, that next step had not risen up for him to unfreeze and like, boop, put his foot down on. So I was explaining to people that the work that we did with the chariot and in the emotional body was giving us the freedom to drive our Merkabas, right? So that the fool did not have to be suspended in midair, so that he could freely jump. And essentially, you may say, fast forward to now, you may say, Spirit is saying, if you take it all the way back to the previous, 2020 leap year, fast forward to now, there have been many teachings and cycles. You can call them karmic. You can, however you label that relates to you and your own understanding. They've been preparing you to drive the Merkaba. And this year, with that overarching Leo energy, the Stargate is your heart chakra. That's your portal. That's where you plug. That's where you use the ignition, right? The gas. And so now it's like we're totally being gassed up, right? The Fool is ready to now move forward with his jump process and his progress, and the stones will begin to meet him, right? But it's kind of like if Indiana Jones had always stayed back, he totally would have got killed by that big old stone, but he had to go forward. He didn't, I don't know, I hope a stone's going to come up. I'm either going to die getting squished by the rock, maybe we'll say of karma, or I'm going to keep jumping, ascending, evolving higher and higher, and I'm going to trust, and the trust fall to the next step, trust jump to the next step, right? So now we are ready to, is like, plug in the keys. I definitely think there could for sure be a tense energy. Hold on, I was going to see, I don't even know if I can get a chart to load quick enough. I don't want it to be a distraction. I'd rather just roll with it intuitively. But with excuse me, do we have Venus? We're not quite yet to Venus being in Aquarius, but with Mars in Aquarius, it can kind of be like it can kind of, I'm seeing it as being like it brings up anger. And of course, anytime somebody's trying to make a contract to utilize another person, another resource, in a dark way, an inverted way. Spirit is saying inorganic or dark magic type contracts, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to elaborate and give space energetically to talk about it like that, but they're not going to want to, it's going to be some angry tension when chains, bondage, contracts being burned, chains being broken. Remember, we're talking about the devil card. We've been liberated from that. And so there's definitely going to be some tension. There's definitely going to be like, we're detaching, Mars and Aquarius is like, my divine masculine, my will to do, my will to force, my will, I'm inspired and I'm ready to go. And Mars and Aquarius is going to say, oh, I'm about to do this thing a whole new way. Y'all haven't even seen this before. But what's going to happen is the team's going to be like, why? Mars was in Capricorn. Why are we going to do it a whole new way? What do you mean you're leaving the group? What do you mean you're not coming back to this relationship? What do you mean you have a different job? What do you mean you're going out on your own? You're moving to a different city, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Use your own intuition and discernment to understand in your own journey of ascension, evolution, where that fits for you. But the point is that if it feels constrained, you know what I mean? If you feel like you need to detach, is almost like you're forcing your way out of there. You know what I mean? That's why I said it's like a torch. Mars is like, hey, hang on, Aquarius, let me help you. And now the lady goes to everything. That's how I was seeing it in my head. She kind of steps in with that Mars and Aquarius energy. And, the whole devil card's like, oh, what are you doing here? So I was seeing all these things just kind of playing out in my head and feeling in my third eye and my heart space. I was like, what quote was I hearing? It's like, I'm not quiet like a flower. I'm not calm like a flower. I'm quiet like a bomb. Do y'all know the quote I'm talking about? I'm not quiet like a flower. I'm quiet like a bomb, is giving very much this energy. And so I feel if we can just ebb and flow, and trust that that Aquarius energy, that true north, that I know that I'm walking in the alignment that is in my highest and best good, that has me in my best, most healthy individual, authentic self. I'm trusting that. You know what I mean? So, if it's got to get torched, if it's got to get burnt, if it's got to go, it's got to go, And so there definitely may be some tension in some areas, because, there's things that felt stable before that won't feel stable. There are things that felt, they'll always be here, right? Like I can always come back to them, right? Like we're always going to do it like this, right? Whether it's toxic, whether it's, manipulation, whether it's codependency, whether it is, I would love to keep you here, you know, Mars previously in Capricorn, I would love to keep you here to just work in my garden and just keep putting your will and your energy and your effort here. I don't want you to expand. I don't want you to, go off with Pluto and you're riding the dragon, you're doing your thing, right? And you're going up to catch your lucky star and you're, pulling down the codes, the messages, the downloads, it's kind of like it's the essence of like the Holy Grail, the Aquarius. Essentially that's what she's holding in that cup. I don't want you to go out and get that, because then how will you still be that for me? So it's a tension of really just leaving old patterns, old mindsets, old emotional contracts, things that kept you bound. It's like a completion of that, a big completion of that. So I think it's a really powerful energy going on, but it's also so beautiful. And I feel like throughout February, again, this is in bulk season of renewal and regeneration and expectancy and hopefulness. As we get closer to spring equinox, we just, with that lunar new year, we came into lunar in bulk. And so we're still in that very pregnant, in that very beautiful window. I think it's a wonderful time in February, as we also kind of think about that leap year. The fool is ready to kind of catch up with himself. And it's like he catches up, and I see him, it's like, whoop, like he gets slingshot and he kind of click, he clicks into gear and he's ready. He's like, I got the keys. Yes, and things start, like things start integrating. I'm seeing it's like the numbers and the geometric symbols are like falling through your crown, over your third eye and everything, and they're integrating, and you're ready to drive, right? Because your Merkaba is not chained to a big ass rock that you're not supposed to be dragging anyway. Oh, you know what though? I will say this: their Aquarius energy loves to give you clarity. It loves to. You ever met an Aquarius? They love to cheer you up. They love to support you. They love to say, "I see your individual soul. I see your uniqueness and your service to yourself and to the collective. And I hope you choose to embody that." Aquarius will always redirect you to that highest and best good alignment. So, if that's the path that you're walking, it's like all systems go, click, 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 put your seatbelt on and you're ready to go. So, but it's hard because we are human, and we do grieve loss, even if the thing wasn't healthy for us, or even if it was, okay, I get it, I've rode this, maybe you would say, karmic cycle all the way out. I love myself, and like, I do get it, I'm ready to evolve, but sometimes it is hard. But I will say, I think that February is so important. Man, even if you can plan it on, the day of the leap day or whatever, at the end of February, or set the intention throughout February, when we're in the interesting leap year pockets. And this is being channeled right now through the collective. It's so fascinating. The collective teachers that I follow, the collective readers, just whole collective. What I am speaking into the one-on-ones that I'm doing is very much like it's ancestors wanting to come through for sure. That's coming out all over the collective, and it feels very strong and powerful. Because they're Spirit is showing me like they bring geometric symbols to you, or it's almost like they kind of reach through the cracks. I don't know. Remember I was saying, with all that Aquarius energy in the new moon, it was like pulling back the corner of the veil. So it's like this hand. It could be spirit guides, ancestors, great, 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 great grandmothers, grandfathers. This could also be galactic ancestors they want to give you something. This has been coming through really powerfully, especially in one-on-one work and readings. is something to, again, Mars and Aquarius is something to really amp up our personal power. It's like giving you codes to insert into your fuel tank, and they kind of they integrate into your body, into your bone and blood and DNA. And it's like these moments, I think, in February where you'll just kind of be like, oh my gosh, I know what I'm supposed to do now. Or, you know what? Why wouldn't I create the damn thing? I'm going to do it. Or, you know what? It's time to start planning the move. And you may already have a lot of these feeling type things in motion. I think big moves are going to be happening, and people are going to be doing things that may seem super dramatic, definitely in February, but also experiencing the integration of the light of the message if you're in a receptive space for that. And especially, it's very important, Mars moving into Aquarius wants to help get you, listen, if we got to take a torch to it, if we got to get a hammer, chink, 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 it's like someone is just, it's the last little bit of that chain, and you just need to, and then you can blast off. But you got to be willing to really embrace is some sort of contract. And I feel that you would, I'm just hearing so many songs, and I can't even say them quick enough. My poor voice, you guys. Y'all, what is the song? There was a dun, 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 dun. What is that? Don't you worry, child. Y'all, heaven's got a plan for you. Bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. Up on a hill across the blue lake. Y'all, that's what I'm hearing. What is it about a first heartbreak? So this could just be a message, there's definitely going to be relationships that hold us back, and the contract, the experience, the agreement. When we came down into this lifetime, and we had these contracts, we knew in our karma that we were going to experience these things. We could sit here and talk about past life, when you talk about inherited ancestral karma, all these different things, right? We're at a place where these loops of patterns in time are going to completely shift, because it's like we're hitting, Spirit is saying, the first leap year in the age of Aquarius. So it's almost like, do you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing Mario, where you go, y'all remember the noise? Is it a childhood core moment? Blur, blur, blur. What is that noise, y'all, where you do the double, triple jump with Mario? This is what it feels like. Like, you're not only going to blast off, you're going to blast off like times 3. You're going to, it depends. It could be whatever is unique to your individual contract, your experience, what it is that you would like to manifest and magnetize. It's a very magnetic year, in the year of the 8. Remember, I made that comment. My guides were saying something like, it's like 8 portals all year long, which makes me think of the infinity symbol. And again, I'm just seeing these is like these looping rings, but now I'm seeing it's like Harry Potter playing Quidditch, and flying through the rings. It's very like the degree that you can release the chains that were binding you is how much higher you can jump, is what Spirit is saying. And I'm seeing it like you can double tap, and then you can boom, boom, double tap off that. But if you keep holding on, you're not going to jump nowhere. And then what's going to happen is natural waves of highs and lows, right? We're talking about vibration. We're talking about energy. Is you're just going to settle down, and there's not going to be any jumping. And oftentimes energetically, in the realms that we don't see with this set of eyes, you understand, we stay down there. And then that's what happens when we say timelines are separating, or you hear people say others will just seem to fall away as if they can't even reach you anymore. That's what happens. It's because they're not jumping like you're jumping. Okay, so I wanted to come in and point out and just hang out with you a little bit for sure. I know I had new subscribers, and I'm really appreciative of that. I love you guys. I do one-on-one natal chart and astrology work and readings. I do tarot readings. I create candles, ritual tools. I I do grid work through nature and hiking, and I work with water. So these are the things that I do, but I really just come on here and spend time with you it's for whoever needs it. I realize everyone may not be able to or be at a place where they can purchase a reading. And I just want to share energy and education and messages as Spirit asked me to do so in my guides, right? So that's what I like to do here. I don't necessarily have a grand goal of being a big old YouTuber, right? Don't let me date myself. Y'all, what in tarnation with these YouTubers? No, I'm just kidding. It's not what is. I'm claiming reverse aging. But it's a big cycle for, again, regeneration, rebirth, reformation, revolutionary thinking, ideas, creations. Is like, you know how they say, treat yourself, but it's like free yourself. That's what it feels, you guys. It's very, very powerful this week. Now, I was looking up because I was trying to think of what star, because I was looking at the astrology of my birthday, as I do every year, of course. And it is, I was saying Cygnus, but it's Cygnus. It's spelled Cygnus, which makes sense because I was hearing, when you wish upon a star. It's something about, sorry, I know everyone may not study human design, but when I'm talking about this photonic light that we receive and that we integrate, and it comes from the galactic, it's very cosmic. What is it? Molly McCord, if you guys don't follow her, she's amazing. I've taken some of her teachings. She was not my initial teacher. I had a different astrology teacher, but Molly McCord is amazing. If you don't listen to her podcast or listen to her on YouTube, I suggest you should if you're curious about astrology. But I think she always calls them neutrinos. Is that a human design thing? But it has to do with this Cygnus Star. It's like being connected to the water bearer of Aquarius and pouring down like these neutrinos. This is the whole vibe. If you do want to work with that wish upon a star, it's a leap year. Yes, I'm absolutely ready. And maybe I already have practice. I don't know about y'all, but listen. We have Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. It was very beautiful. Spirit is saying your original soulmate is yourself. So if someone out there is like, how do I let this go? I felt like this was a soulmate, whether it was a friend, maybe a family member, sister, brother, some it doesn't have to be romantic, but it's something about if they are moving the way that you're moving, if you let them go, you'll find them on this timeline that you call into being by changing your vibration. But if you don't, then they weren't meant to move the way that you are moving. What's under the Two of Cups now? I'm wondering. Queen of Wands. Yeah, we can't diminish our charisma or play it small, or what is that? It's like how you kind of play stupid to people in a room or in a relationship. We're not doing that. We don't have time to do that. We can't be integrating cosmic photonic light particles and neutrinos and wishing on Cygnus stars and Mario jumping ×3 if we're trying to make ourselves small for a relationship or a best friend or a family member or a job or a town or a city, Spirit is saying, or a version of you used to be because you thought that's what everyone told you was what you had to be. Right? Yeah, we have two queens on top of the Two of Cups. So it's almost like the queen's trump. You have to evolve into the highest and best. Why am I seeing as like the bird above her, but it made me think of an airplane. Y'all, what is the song? Why Spirit? Sky rockets in flight. Woo! Afternoon delight. What am I thinking of? It's almost like someone is immature for you guys. Let me focus. We don't want to diminish our wands or our swords. This is where we need to be first and foremost. And you see the wand is pointed up to the sky. It's on fire. The sword is pointed up to the ethers with a guiding, Spirit is saying winged one above. So we're bringing these things down into the crown. This makes me think of the show The Crown, because when I wasn't feeling well, I was like heavily spiraling into it. We won't get into it, but it's like, the sacrifices that you make for what you know that you are doing to anchor in the highest and best timeline. No, I don't want to debate with you about the Queen. I'm just saying, listen, everything carries a message if you learn how to read it. Okay, but listen, I was sitting here shuffling, and who gonna come up? The devil. He was lingering close by. I knew he was. The devil card is also a lot about liberation, right? And then listen, the Wheel of Fortune, I kept talking about these wheels, you guys. The wheels. I always say this in my one-on-ones, but the Wheel of Fortune is always like, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning, right? I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow, okay? I'm going up and out. Saturn's rings turning, time loops changing. We're double tapping, y'all, all the way up, 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 right? Was it, he got wings? What was it? It was like a foxtail or something. And if you tapped enough, like he would hover and you would go up, 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 up. The more that you could tap, if you could jump right. Yes, yes. Guys, wow. It's so powerful. You're rejoining your divine masculine and feminine, the parts of your mind. These, if you want to call them light codes, if you want to call them neutrinos, if you want to call them cosmic God particles. I mean, that's what you're made up anyway of, right? That's the conglomerate of you, divine sovereign being dancing in human form. But this is very much like your divine masculine and feminine within you, your left and right brain, your kundalini rising. Remember we were talking about the figure eights, the 8-year line portals all year long? Yeah, I'll take it any year. Let's vibe with the lions and dragons. I'm a Leo rising. I'm down. I got a bunch of fire in my, we can ride. Okay, but it makes me think of that. It's like an inner harmony and balance. I just want to, and I feel like it's important, Spirit is leading me to clarify. Again, the Two of Cups, it can be very damaging if we look for that energy outside of ourselves first. We want to do the work inside. Whether it is, you may say, Kundalini rising, divine masculine, divine feminine energy coming into harmony. You know what I'm saying? If you're not your own soulmate and you understand the Spirit is saying the signature of your soul and your own sovereignty first, you're not going to attract what you're looking for from a healthy place, right? Because in its essence, the Two of Cups is, the yin and yang, the universe and charged opposites and gravitational pull. But this is happening, this alchemy is happening within you first. So it is really important that we understand that work. Yes, listen, February and the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil out on the table, I mean, I was literally just shuffling the cards in my hand, you know how I do when I'm talking, and the Devil was just like, whoop, whoop, and then right behind him was the Wheel of Fortune. It reiterates how contracts have been demolished, abolished, burned, sliced and diced, however you want to call it, because we got both queens. You want to burn it? You want to slice and dice it? We can do either one, right? Because they're both on the board, right? You see, if you feel intuitively led to do so, I would encourage you to definitely. You can also learn about the Cygnus Star. You can ask your galactic ancestors if you would like in meditation. There's wonderful people who will guide you in those type of meditations. You can work with the Cygnus Star. You can work with the Pleiades. Whatever you feel called to. It's like, messages from, I mean, we could talk about Lear and we could talk about, we could go down the whole list of all of these different galactic ancestors, but we're just reaching up to get those codes and integrate them, and however you choose to do that work. I think that February holds insanely potent energy. And you may say, you know what, I'm just being present. I am calling in, magnetizing, manifesting, however you choose your verbiage, what brings me joy, what supports my highest and best good. I just want to be present in the moment. And maybe that's your way, which is a beautiful, very wise way to do, because then whatever does come into your field will be called in to match that vibration. And so some people just kind of roll with the ebb and the flow of it that way. We can still integrate those, as you may say, neutrinos, as you may say, cosmic particles, light codes, downloads. We can still choose to receive those. And maybe those could be keys for healing. Maybe those could just be shifts in your mental body. I think there will definitely be a rise of, the clairs, as we would say, healing energy, people who do energy work, people who do lots of different modalities of healing, sound, working with the earth, doing grid work. All of this is going to be on the rise. And the more that you're open to receive and integrate that energy, I mean, honestly, the way that I see it is when you walk as a divine being having a human experience and you put your foot down, and Spirit is showing it's like your ancestors are walking in your feet because they're in your DNA and they're in your skin. You're literally activating the grid wherever you go. And so that's more powerful. It's so much more powerful energetically than you could ever know, just because you can't see it, with this set of eyes. So, you guys, listen, it's super powerful energy this week, but also rippling out through the remainder of this month. I would love to work with you. If you're curious, you can always email me. You can always visit my website. You can check me out. I do have a Facebook business page, and I've got, you can check out the socials if you go to my website. But yeah, I love this energy for us. I'm very excited. Do understand that there may be some tension, but the important thing to do is just to continue to release and not let it kind of be a deterrent to Spirit is saying your lift off. So I hope you guys have a wonderful remainder of your week. I look forward to checking in again with you soon. All right, take care. Bye, guys.